Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to the investor and analyst briefing of Systems Limited for the period ended September 2022. The format of the call will be a management presentation followed by a Q&A session. And for that, few housekeeping rules are all participants will be on listen-only mode, even during the Q&A session. And if you wish to ask any question from the management, please post your questions on the Q&A box, not the chat box, Q&A box. Mr. Asif Peer and Ms. Ruhi will run us through the presentation, followed by the Q&A session. Mr. Asif Peer will be answering those questions, and Ruhi and myself will be answering questions in the chat box as well. Mr. Avas and over to Asif Saab.
Okay, thank you, Tahir, and thank you, Rui. So first of all, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you guys are. So we would like to start, as Tahir suggested, like 10-15 minutes. We'll run through the slides, and then we have kept good 45 minutes for Q&A. So as per the Tahir's modus operandi, please post as many questions as you want to ask us, and we will be glad to responding those. Rui, next. Okay. So it's systems at a glance. We will just do the financial review, way forward, and Q&A. That will be the format. So most of you guys who have joined the know Systems journey. So we have been going through aggressive path on the expansion and geography expansion and people expansion from 1977 till 2022, and since IPO, you guys have from 2015 to 2022. It has been a tremendous journey for the company, and I'm really proud of my team and the leadership who has been part of this journey and make all of us proud. Thank you. Rui, next. So people is, as you all know, that this is the most important element in our business, and you guys have seen we have been growing tremendously year on year from an expansion perspective. We have, of course, increased 750 people and as of today, in net addition in IT professionals. And most of our IT professionals are in Pakistan, 94%, and 6% outside of Pakistan as far as the distribution is concerned. And we have shared the distribution by geographies as well. We have, of course, in total employees, we have BPO professionals as well, and we have shared that our share of BPO business has been decreasing. The resources of the number of people in BPO side has been decreased as well, but IT side has been growing at a great pace. Thank you. Next. So I think this is the key driver of our growth, which we have been transitioning and transforming ourselves to a digital company, where most of our businesses now, as you can see, from digital services, 3/4, and then managed services and BPO is now less than 5%. So digital services is the key for digital transformation, digital acceleration, and we have been covering end-to-end now, from a consulting to managed services and providing latest technologies to all our customers, and our cross-selling, upselling, and a vertical solution that what we have been providing in BFSI, banking, financial services, telco space, and public sector, and other vertical solutions. Also, we have expanded our Microsoft, SAP, to Oracle, to Amazon Cloud, to Google Cloud, and we have been adding those things at a quite rapid pace, and adding it like to give the end-to-end solutions to all of our customers in those verticals. So I think that has been expanding, and that is providing us edge over in our digital services. Next. So this has been a phenomenal year. And again, I would like to recognize my team and my colleagues around the globe who have been part of this successful journey. Forbes Asia Best Under $1 Billion. This is the third year in a row. We are the only Pakistani company who has been recognized by Forbes as Best 200 company in Asia under $1 billion. And it's a testimony of our sustainable growth and sustainable business 3 years in a row. Asia Money has been, again, it's for our sustainability. We have been awarding the most outstanding company 2 years in a row. For PSX, we are again 2 years in a row top 25 companies as well, and we have crossed over 100 billion. So we are about in top 15%, top 15 companies in PSX from market cap perspective. Inner Circle, again, Microsoft, we have been again 2 years in a row. Microsoft Inner Circle means we are the top 100 partners globally from Microsoft, and that is giving us a huge upside because, of course, customers sees those credentials and give us a lot of business. So, of course, SAP, Microsoft, Huawei, all of these recognitions couldn't be possible without the great team and the leadership that we have. So, and of course, we thank our customers and our partners and our shareholders. Deep client relationships in our business, people, client, of course, and offerings that comes. All these three things are critical, and we are proud that we are retaining our customers. 94% of our business is recurring in nature. As you can see that our ratio is, we are well diversified from the perspective, like top client to top 20 clients is now 47% versus 56%. And you can see that all the spend that what we have on the right side, if you can see, our spend of the top clients are increasing, top 5 clients are increasing, top 10 clients are increasing, top 20. And as you can see from quarter over quarter comparison, that this spend has been increased phenomenally as well. That is the testimony that we are delivering the value to our existing customers. We are delivering and we are growing our business and cross-selling, upselling within our existing customers. So we are getting their pocket share, as well as, of course, adding more customers. As you can see, number of clients has been increased as well in all these categories. When you see the tiers, it has increased as well. When you see the tiers on the right side, it has increased. So all the positive trajectory, and I think in our business, to be recurring nature of our business and getting more share from our customer is the key KPI that we drive. And also, of course, we add new customers, but this is the key KPI because that gives us the growth that we are delivering to our shareholders. Next. So financial review, I think that's we just created one slide as a dashboard. So you guys can see that we have 91% year-on-year growth. We have revenue CAGR since last 5 years is 53% in PKR and 34% USD based revenue CAGR as well. And in our profits in USD terms has grown 5-year CAGR in USD term is 47% as well. So our net profit CAGR since last 5 years, 47%. Our revenue CAGR in USD is 34%. That's what we measure because currency exchange loss gain is not in our hand. And because we have a lot of foreign investors, so we cater for a dollar-based growth and dollar-based NP growth. So rest is very self-explanatory. All of these number of people, our days sales outstanding, our receivables has been improving as well. So customers over $1 million has increased as well. And our earning per share and revenue per employee is pretty consistent. And we have good cash balance in our book as well, as we are making a profit. So of course, we are generating profits and we are adding it to our cash as well. So this is just a glance and would love to answer anything that you guys have. Next. So strong revenue growth that I shared in the previous slide is this is the pictorial representation of, you can see that it's 91% growth. And you can see from last 5 years, since last 5 years, how this trajectory is going. We have compared quarter over quarter increased as well. So from Q2 to Q3 is a significant jump. As you can see, 118%, and USD based growth is 60%. And our Q3 versus Q2 is also significant, 42%. And in USD term, it's also 23%. So that's from a revenue side. Rui, next. Operating profit has also seen a significant jump, as we are sharing 5-year history with you guys. CAGR is 69%, 75% year-on-year growth, and quarter over quarter is also significant growth. So 112% from last year, and in dollar base 55%, and from Q2 it's 20% and 4% in dollar terms. So we have listed down all these margins as well, all these percentages as well on the slide. And again, we would be happy to answer any questions, but you can see it's a consistent performance and consistent result in both the profitability as well as the revenue. Next. Profit after tax also has seen the 66% CAGR and 103% year-on-year, because it has some element of exchange gain as well and other income. But overall, as you can see from as I was sharing, like we are measuring ourselves in the dollar based as well. So 113% in PKR, and when you do currency neutral, it is 56% growth in net profitability since last year. And also quarter over quarter, you can see it's a 22% versus 6% in a dollar terms. So it has been a significant trajectory from ourselves. So the next slide is by region. I think that is also important to share that how our regions are shaping up. We have a growth regions and we have a stable and sustainable region as well. As you can see, like the regions every region has been growing overall, but of course, as a percentage share, you can see that our Middle East region has been outperforming and we're getting a lot of traction in that market, because there is a huge opportunity and huge white space available for us to grow further. And you can see on the right side per vertical, like which I mentioned, like telco and BFS is our key verticals, and it will keep growing steadily. And we have BPO, which is part of the other, but it has now less than 5% of which used to be 20-30%. So now we are pure technology play, pure digital play from our offering perspective, and very focused on vertical based growth and vertical based offering. So we have quite transitioned ourselves into build, sell, and deliver. So we are building the accelerators, we are building the solutions, we are building the offerings for vertical based offerings. And then of course we are selling accordingly. We are not just now typical shop which provides the resources. So we are building, selling, and then of course delivering to our customers and delivering the value. Next. So revenue mix is pretty interesting, as we have been sharing with you guys that we are expanding our dollar-based, as we all know, our currency. So we are increasing our dollar-based revenue. It's about 85% now, and our cost is like 76% in PKR and 24% in USD terms, because we have subsidiaries abroad. So that's also quite encouraging for us, and we will keep increasing that as we move along. Next. So we just wanted to share our capital expenditure. As you can see that we have increased our capital expenditure because we have expanded quite dramatically in infrastructure. We have now infrastructure in various cities. We have excess infrastructure in all the major cities as well. So we can house good 1,000+ people more in upcoming year. So we have been preparing for this kind of growth. So we have expanded our infrastructure and everything, not the physical, but digital infrastructure as well. And as you can see that it is, and of course, we are expecting, of course, a little bit of lesser capital expenditure going forward, because we have done in advance. And in our business, you have to plan in advance. You can't just create an infrastructure overnight. So adjusted free cash flow that's an important KPI which we monitor. And of course, last year, as I said, we were expanding quite aggressively and also from a supply chain perspective, we knew that from importing a lot of stuff from hardware perspective, laptop perspective, we have done massive acquisitions or buying or procurement in those years. So we are future secured and we don't run into supply chain issues as well. So that's 9 months. We have a positive free cash flow as well, and we are increasing that year on year. And we are very, of course, as we are making more profits, it will be more strengthening. Next. So serving customers across geographies, as we are a global company, our Middle East share is 42%, North America is 40%, and Pakistan is about 18%. And all these geographies we are expanding, and we're just as a few of the geographies we have been reporting into in our director report that we are expanding. So of course, few of those geographies are in very recent early stages. And as we build the momentum, as we build the team, as we build the infrastructure, we will see the, of course, results in the future as well. Next. Okay, so that's, I think, new. Probably we have not shared that much information earlier. As you guys know, that July 1st, we have integrated NDC Tech. This was our first acquisition, and I'm really proud that that what we have acquired, we see a great synergy, the great cultural and value integration, and that is the most important element in any acquisition. So we have seen a great synergy between the teams and great looking forward. So also Temenos, this is a core banking system which NDC developed. We have built a great reputation among that channel as well. So over 500 plus Temenos certified expert, and we are one of the leading Temenos core banking implementation partner with Temenos. This company has a history of 22 years, 110 banks. And you can see that dollar-based revenue is 66% versus the local is about 34%. So digital transformation, cloud, and all of these things that what we do with systems offering and core banking offering, we can run the bank end to end. So there is no question and doubt about it. So this company NDC has been recognized by the Everest Group. So this is well known, and we have just this year also. This year, just now, we received from Temenos, the partner sales, the best sales award in the region. So NDC has been gathering the accolade like systems has been as well. Next. So what we do, it's core modernization, digitizing the bank, modernizing the bank. You know, as I said, the digital banking horizon is expanding. Digital transformation is on the rise. And with systems being there, managed services of the core banking versus run the bank, banking on the cloud, everybody's shifting. So we have a great expertise. Both companies together can really make a huge difference, and we can cross-sell and upsell our services across the banks. And they are all enterprising customers. And of course, we want to shift more towards the consulting as well. So from consulting to managed services, that's a journey that we can cover. Next. So this is a global winning track record for NDC as well. I'm really proud of NDC team that they have been delivering the value. They are making the name globally as well. And I'm proud of their leadership and the team. And you can see that Top Tech Team Global Banking Tech Award. These recognitions really set the tone for the future business, because that's a testimony, independent testimony for all these accolades that company receive, like systems. We have with these accolades from Forbes and others, it really helped us in shaping our company because it is internationally recognized, and we don't have to prove that our credentials because it has been done by the independent, well-known companies. Next. So NDC to like systems as key partners, Temenos, as I said, key core banking. We do both the digital and Digital Infinity product and T24, both products, and all the modules is covered under Temenos. We They are proud partners of Red Hat, and Red Hat has recognized NDC as one of the emerging partner. That is also very interesting. And then, of course, all the cloud partners, testing partners, and fintech partnerships as well. Okay, so I'll end it here. Yeah, thank you very much, and I'll end it here and open the floor for Q&A. Please moderate, and we'll go from there.
And the floor is now open to questions. Please write your question in the chat box. We may club similar type of questions in order to save time. Kindly don't feel offended in case your question has not been asked in your words. So we have a couple of questions in chat box and waiting for some others to come. Shall we start the question and answer sessions?
Yes, please.
Asif? Yes.
Yes, please.
So the first question is regarding the ND Tech and Treehouse acquisition. So there is a question that when the new shares will be issued to ND Tech, if you like to share.
Yeah, it has been issued already, and from our side.
Yeah,
Okay.
the shares have been issued, and it will be reflected on PSX, I think, in this week, because the relevant forms have been filed with the SECP.
Thanks, Rohi, for the explanation. And the next question is also regarding to the acquisition of ND Tech and Treehouse. The question is, what the contribution of revenue of ND Tech and Treehouse in revenues of Rs 900 million? And any future guidance if you would like to share on the revenue stream of both these companies.
Yeah, as we shared in our report as well, that these about 10 to 12% of systems, and future is, of course, relative to the history, but we're not sharing the future forecast, but of course, this is like roughly about 10 to 12% of systems.
Okay, thank you. So the next question is regarding the human resource. That the question is that how many employees have been added by the company in the year so far, and if you like to share the current number of the employees as well. And there is a follow-up question on this, that if you like to share the current revenue per employee as well.
Yeah, all three things were in the presentation. Like if you recall, 6,000 odd people, 750 net additions, and about $30,000. All were there in the presentation. These were three numbers.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for highlighting it again. So there is a follow-up question. If you like to answer, it's once again related to the human resource. That what is the criteria for selection of employee pool in System Limited or at System Limited?
What is the current? What you said?
What is the criteria for selection of employees at Foundation Security at Systems Limited?
Yeah, it's of course we do go through the various interviews, and it's a very stringent process, because we want to take the quality input, because that quality input will translate to quality output. That's what we believe, because our customers trust us for this kind of a scrutiny. So we have a very stringent process and interview levels as well for fresh and normal and experienced people.
Okay, so the next question that we have is regarding the revenue from SAP. The question is how this segment is contributing towards revenue and profitability of the company. Any details if you would like to share about the client base and the geography of the services that you are providing to?
Yeah, for SAP, we have started with Pakistan, and we have ventured into Saudi as well, and now we're going into UAE. So that is again a very small percentage as part of our revenue yet, but of course, as you guys know, that we've just started a year and a half or roughly a year ago. So it is in the growth mode, and we will expand into all the geographies that what we serve. So it's a great demand right now. And of course, SAP is one of the top ERP. And also there is a lot of upgrades as well, you know.
Okay, thank you. So the next question is regarding the Middle East region. Could you share reasons behind phenomenal growth from Middle East region? And should we expect similar growth pattern from new regions such as Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Singapore?
Yeah, the Middle East has been a phenomenal journey for us because there is a lot of demand globally, right? For the IT skilled resources and the talent. So what happens is that a lot of large or global SIs were focused on North America and Europe the most because they were getting a lot of traction a little bit, and then we got a great white space because we have been delivering the value to our customers, and we have been very consistent in the delivery, consistent in creating the references, and consistent in building the partnerships with principals like Microsoft, IBM's, and all of these various partnerships that we have established over the years. So, and Middle East has not been affected by any kind of recession, and they have been spending a lot of money on digitizing their public sector, and they are doing more and more, interestingly, and they are not stopping anywhere. So we see a lot of spending happening in those Middle Eastern region because of that. And since we are present and we have been proven ourselves, so we are the beneficiary of this kind of growth. And of course, other markets, as you said, Saudi and others, we have recently opened. We definitely are looking forward to and working hard towards receiving that kind of a response from the new markets as well.
Okay, so there are a number of questions that we have received on the North American business. So the general concern is that the revenue is declining from the North American region, and any specific reason that you would like to mention?
Actually, I think that is not correct. I think we have the segment analysis that you guys can see. It is 51% growth this year in PKR, and we have about more than 20% growth as well in dollar terms. So it has been growing year on year, as I said, 51%, and also the share in the revenue has increased overall. It is on the other side, of course, Middle East has outperformed because the numbers have been phenomenal. Middle East has grown 165% year on year. So that is not, of course, you can't beat that. So US has grown and Middle East has grown, but Middle East has outperformed. As we added new markets as well, it's not just, so we are expanding, we added new markets, and we got a great response. As I said, a lot of companies shifted towards the other side of the equation, and we were the beneficiary of that and building. We were persistent about the growth, and we have invested on the right sectors, right technologies, and right clients and right partnerships, you know. So that really helps. So.
Okay, the next question is an interesting one. Although you have explained all the elements in detail, but there is a question that the System Limited revenue has shown a significant growth in revenues. But if we look at the overall export revenue of IT sector, it has been on the declining path. Would you like to share any competitive edge that people have over others?
Yeah, we do. It's basically how you do the business, and our export is recognized in IT sector when you remit the money to Pakistan. So most of the companies are not operating like systems in a transparent way. They are doing the cost plus model mostly. So they are allowed to retain as much as they can outside of Pakistan. So the exports doesn't recognize, right, as in Pakistan, that's why you see a decline. But overall, export is not declining. The demand is on rise, delivery is on rise, employment is on rise, and exports in terms of our delivery is increasing. You can say that export is decreasing in terms of remittance, right? So these two are very different, right?
So the next question is regarding the challenges being faced by the company. So one is a generic question from number of people that what are the biggest challenges and opportunities facing the company at the moment? And the other one that most of the people have been asking that what's outlook on the US business given the recent economic slowdown and the rising inflation in US?
Due to the challenges we all have jobs, right? So challenges will come one after the other. That's the part of the leadership and the management, that how you tackle. If there was a COVID, this is a recession, this will keep coming. It's how you adopt yourself, how you strategize your company, and how you can be forward looking and preparing for the best, and have your cost structure versus your revenue forecast versus diversification. That's why you see that we are constantly diversifying, adding markets, adding horizontals. Now we are in the inorganic growth path as well. So we are doing acquisition, because that's a part of all resolving all these challenges, because you do not want to be at the inflection point. So I don't see, to be honest, like challenges are part of services business. It's a tough business too. It's one of the toughest business to deliver IT services and have a satisfied customers and have a 94% recurring revenue. So these are all things. But of course, constant is like, how can we keep delivering the value to our customers constantly? And how do we have a sustainable growth? How do we have a great leadership and great team that we develop, that we nurture the talent and keep doing that? We can't have a breathing space in any of these. If you do that, I think in doing all of these, there are challenges that you need to address.
Yeah, I think our shareholders, investors, all the participants are curious to know the secret sauce. I mean, how you are converting these challenges into opportunities. And you just have shared the strategy.
Okay.
So the next question is that we have that the number of questions regarding Handitech. So the people are asking about the revenue mix of that, how much Handitech is earning through exports and how much is of local revenue.
Yeah, as I shared earlier, it's about 69% or 65 to 70% is dollar-based, and about 30%, 20 to 30%, I would say, is local business, right? And local business is most of the local business is also dollar-based business as well, because it's a different kind of business, because you buy the Temenos services and license, and they are not the local company, they are a Swiss company. So most of the revenues that we book, more than 80%, I would say, is in a dollar-based. But it's how do you segregate export? It's different. Like if you're asking export, then it is about 30% to 70%, 30% local and about 70% export. But if you're asking about dollar-based versus PKR-based, then it's more than 80% is dollar-based and about 10 to 20% is a PKR, 15 to 20% is PKR.
So the next question is a generic one. It's regarding the IT exports of Pakistan. So the question is, being the prominent player of IT industry, where do you see Pakistan software exports in a year's time from 2.5 billion that we earned last year?
It's more of a political number, right? I would say the realistic picture, right? Exports in terms of people are growing, export in terms of revenue per employee is growing, but how will it translate into the remittance and into our export number is a very tough question to answer right now, because nobody knows. It depends on a lot of variables, right? Economic stability, to dollar stability, to political stability, to future outlook of the country. But how people move their money from abroad to Pakistan is very different than how do you measure export. Unfortunately, you guys also look at central bank number because there is no other KPI, but we look at very differently, right? So we look at the real thing happening, how many employees and how many jobs this sector is generating, how many freelancers are adding. So because definitely this is all translating into to export. Whether you bring it here or not, that's a different question, right? That's up to individual and companies.
So there is a follow-up question on this too, that how do we compete with Indian IT companies and what competitive edge Pakistani companies have?
I would say it's a wrong comparison to start with, right? Because it's a like a very huge difference from the scale perspective, from the numbers perspective, and from all the perspective, right? But how do we compete? That's what I can say. How can you be relevant? I think it does, if you have, as I said, if you are building something which is solving customer problem, which is relevant to the market, which industries need, then it doesn't matter whether you are in India or Pakistan or wherever, right? So you have to, your strategy has to be the value creation. So if you can have competitive edge or differential advantages in your offering, then Pakistan definitely have an edge on pricing. Our cost structure is really good, right? We are 30%, up to 30% or more cheaper than our neighboring countries, right? And with the good communication skills, with the good reasonable digital infrastructure, with good young population, we have a huge edge because we are too small. From here to doing 100% growth doesn't need like $100 billion. You just need $2 and $2.5 billion. So there's a huge potential, and everybody has to have some differential advantage and competitive edge. You have to have some different strategy, as you can't win on a scale only, like because they have more people. So you have to win on quality and competitive edge, and differential advantage is in your offerings. So your offerings need to be very tight.
So,
and with the cost advantage, it's really helped.
Yes. So there are a couple of questions regarding the expansion plans of the company. So there is a question that is system planning to serve 3.0 web-based services and any development on ERP platform?
We are, easy answer is we are doing SAP, Microsoft, all these are ERP platforms. And as I shared, we are Inner Circle and SAP partners. So we will continue to grow that because this market is growing. Web 3.0 is, of course, metaverse and NFTs, blockchain, all these technologies that we are working. But we don't have so many use cases or a scalable business at this time. But we're building the capacity and capability and the use cases. As I said, like you have to build something to present. You can't just these good, like these buzzwords, and of course things are changing for sure. You need to be aware of it, but right now it's not like a work available for hundreds of people in Web 3.0 right now. It doesn't mean that future doesn't hold. That's why we are investing right now for the future. But so far we have not seen like a crazy demand of Web 3.0 in services or a global SI business.
So I think you have answered most of the questions being asked to us.
There's another question, very interesting question. Asif, if you can share your thoughts on that. Can NDC's current license be used to get a contract from a Saudi bank? And will the contracts be outsourced from a regional Temenos agent from there? And would NDC apply for different regions as well, or your focus will be just Saudi?
No, we are regional partner. We are global, rather global partner. I would not say regional. We are serving in all the GCC countries, Africa right now. Even the customer base is in Africa, Middle East. I would say not Saudi only, but all the Middle Eastern countries, as well as so there's a significant. We can do anything, and we can do work in any of the geographies if we'd like to. Based on, but of course our stronghold is the regional play, which is Middle East and Africa right now with Pakistan. So Middle East, Africa, Pakistan is a like sweet spot where we are really going to be focused for at least foreseeable future. And then of course, once we see that, if we see when there's a huge demand and a lot of banks coming in, a lot of challenger banks are coming in, So I think I don't see that demand is going to be die down because Temenos only has 40 odd partners. So it's not like thousands of partners, and NDC is one of the top 5.
Great. Asif, I wanted to ask one thing. See, we're looking at India and the other countries are progressing very well, but Pakistan seems to be a leading by the systems and especially yourself. So, how do you see this new human talent source coming up, and how long it will take for us to have a better number going forward? I mean, like, how do you see the talent is coming into your company or overall in the industry?
I think I would say that it has been encouraging and it has been improving year on a year, month over month basis, because I think for any economy or any geography or any country, you need few success stories, right? And when there are success stories, the leading success stories, that creates an ecosystem. So people look it up, and even the young generation look it up and see the opportunities, and they are coming into this profession. So I would say we are thankful and we are grateful and humble that we are trying to transform and create that kind of an ecosystem, not just for systems, but we are also running so many programs to train IT professionals, not just the people who have degrees with IT, but those people who do not hold the IT degree, but they are maths. We have IT Mustaqbal program running. We are doing Tech Lift. We are running resource development initiatives. We are training so many people at our end, and we are encouraging our government to help to focus on that as well. And they are actually, because everybody sees this as a catalyst for the future. And this is the only sector that can grow in times versus percentages. So I would see that we might have a time lag in between. It's not going to be like a hockey stick, but things are progressing, and we are all focused on building the human capital, because that will really define the future of Pakistan. If we have the talent available and at this cost, and with this technology skills, the latest technology skills, no matter what the condition of this country is, IT sector will flourish.
Cool. There is one question that someone is asking. Can you please provide an update on e-processing with the Sada Pay and Naya Pay? The competition has increased, but you being one of the top IT companies have definitely competitive edge. So I think it would be interesting to know what are your thoughts.
Yeah, OneLoad has been interestingly growing as well, and we have pivot our traditional model to the digital payment systems, and we went to the micro retailer concept, where we are acquiring the micro retailers across the country, and we are increasing that base and increasing the wallet share. We are increasing the spending offerings per retailers. We are increasing the offerings per and spend on one retailer as well, and giving them end-to-end service, because we are the conduit, we are in between, we are like integrator, where all the services, digital services offerings that anyone is offering, we are aggregator, so we're aggregating a lot of services, not just the load now, but the payment and financial services is coming in. And we are also like working on the lending side as well, with our e-money license is in pilot phase, and we will have full-fledged license in next, I would say 3 to 6 months. It will open up a lot of use cases for us, which we can come quickly with our technology strength. We can, and with the integration experience that systems and EP systems carry together, I think we can come up with any use case and disrupt any competitor in no time.
Great. There was one news. I don't know if it's very sensitive or not, but if someone is asking, and it's worth discussing this, that do you see any dismissal of waiving tax by finance minister he was talking about, and do you see any impact on it? I don't know if you think that their government would do that instead of supporting the sector, but what are your thoughts on it?
I think it's just a media. I think I would say we are just paying 0.25%, 0.25%, right? So it's, to be honest, it's immaterial, right? So even if he waives 0.25%, that's not going to be make or break. And if they keep 0.25%, that is not huge in any case as well. I think I don't see anything coming on top of 0.25%. So it will be either 0 or 0.25%. So I would be honest, like it's just more of like creating a hype and nothing. I've not heard anything. Anything can change in Pakistan, but so far it will be 0 or 0.25% for foreseeable future. And I think both are, 0.25% is not going to impact anyone a lot.
Okay, one
Since
more
we have
question.
last 14-15 minutes, I would like to quickly, club a couple of questions to get Asif's view. Someone is asking about synergies of Treehouse and NDC with systems. And another question is related to, are you building any other product solution into new technologies like metaverse, AI, blockchain, etc.? Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's why we acquired, right? There is a synergy and there is a great amount of synergy because, as I shared earlier, BFS or banking financial services, a vertical for us. And we were doing everything other than core banking, which is the nucleus or heart of any bank. So that was a missing piece in our services to run the bank. And since and Temenos is one of the leading banking platform, like this a composable business architecture that they have come up with, right? So Temenos installed at 3,200 banks. Top 50 banks run Temenos, right? So so now with the Temenos, and wherever the Temenos is, or wherever we can sell and cross-sell and upsell all our services in digital, data, cloud, managed services, infrastructure to the NDC customers they already have, or vice versa, right? Wherever we have a customer and customer is looking for a banking platform, we can take Temenos. And on top of it, now the world is changing. It's not just the core banking. Now, everybody is trying to move to digital banking. They want to give the services to digital banking. So huge opportunity in both. So definitely we see synergy for Treehouse. It's a small company. They do the similar stuff that we do, but we got the leadership, right? And as you know, in people business, it's not just the resources, the leaders matter the most because they can drive whatever they're driving today. With systems muscles, they can drive in times and multiplier effect. So I see that both of these are a multiplier effect and not the summation effect in the longer run, mid to longer run, I would say. And to answer your question, yes, we are building products and solution because if you recall, I said build and sell. What does a build means that you have to build the accelerators, frameworks, whatever you call, in those vertical spaces, so you can go and pitch to your customers, not just be in a reactive mode. Okay, somebody come and tell you that I need 5 Java developers, give me that. We can always give that, but pitching the solution, and you can only pitch if you build and focus on it. So we will constantly be investing and building those so we can have a great and sustainable growth model.
Thank you. So there is another interesting question that's come up in the chat box. It's regarding the removal of Pakistan from the gray list. So the question is that system has facing challenges in attracting US customers in BFS. As now Pakistan has been removed from the gray list. So can we expect anything positive on that side?
Yeah, this is only a positive news, so it can't go wrong, right? So you can't be on the other side. So anything in BFS or any sector, I think it is going to improve, not just the IT business, but any other trade that we do with the international community. So it's a great step, and I think we must celebrate that, and it is going to definitely improve all the sectors, including IT.
Okay, thanks. Then there are a number of questions regarding the Saudi Arabia segment. If you, the questions are that how much growth is expecting systems from its arm in Saudi Arabia? If you like to share your strategy, the products that you are going to offer in Saudi Arabia market.
As I shared earlier as well, we will keep the similar strategy that worked in the Middle East region, because the region is similar. The Saudi market is huge, right? And so we are starting with our strength, which is BFSI and telco and public sector. This is our strength because we have many repeatable customers. I think what in new markets, how you get the business, you through references, right? So we have the references. So we need to just scale those and repeat those success stories into those regions as well. So I don't see any doubt that why wouldn't it work over there?
So
Asif, I had a one question. This might be very generic, but since we have many other business owners, right? But we're not looking at the tough competition compared to systems. So when do you think the big companies or big groups will realize that now we need to go into the IT business for Pakistan, and they might want to move out from textile to go into IT, because there seems to be a very only textile sector. There seems to be a export driven, but I personally think we should have very long time back, we should have focused on it. But what do you think that we are going to have a competition from other family group who have muscles to actually grow this sector?
I think interesting question, but this sector doesn't require only muscles, right? That's a difference, right? If somebody has money and they can just throw in, they can visualize and that they can build an IT services company, that doesn't work. You need people, you need leaders. So first, you need to find those people and you need to hunt those and acquire those, and then you can build. The money won't drive that kind of a passion, and money can't drive that kind of a behavior and that kind of an ownership structure. Like Systems is an employee-owned company, and as you see the shareholding pattern, right? That really drives, that's a culture that what we have inherited from our leaders who have set up this company in a way that it encourages that kind of structure. Mostly these companies want to retain 100% to themselves and try to build because they believe they have the money and they can do it. I think it doesn't work that way, to be honest.
So probably
there are a couple of questions on the acquisition. People are asking, I mean, you have $35-40 million cash on your balance sheet. Any new acquisition in the pipeline, given the significant accumulation of cash? And any specific areas? Are you focusing to acquire services companies or product companies or both? What's the strategy and how aggressive you are in terms of acquisitions going forward?
Like, I would not say aggressive, but we are definitely on a hunt, okay? So wherever we find a greater opportunity and great synergy, as you can see in case of NDC, we will definitely go after it of those opportunities very aggressively. So we'll hunt, and we will hunt not just in Pakistan, but we will hunt abroad as well. And because as we truly believe to continue the momentum, we need to have more offerings and more leadership and inorganic growth as well, not just the organic growth. So, and now we have experience as well, some experience. We didn't have any experience before. So we have an experience to integrate and the lessons learned, what can work, what did work, what didn't work, how can do it. So it has definitely given us more confidence versus before. So only thing that what we ask from, of course, government, we don't ask anything as an IT sector, at least Systems don't, that the free flow momentum from a dollar base, we bring dollars into country, we should be allowed to take the money out of the country as well to acquire and grow our business and the footprint. And that's the only ask that what this sector has that can really shape the future of this country. If we are like backward minded and we can keep holding it, then I think it means that we are holding the growth of this sector as well.
Great.
Okay, just a follow-up question on the earlier question where you have mentioned that this sector is different as compared to other sectors. I mean, if just financial muscle doesn't work, how difficult it is for you to hire and retain quality people in system, and what is the turnover of employees?
Yeah, turnover is like between, I would say 18 to 24%, somewhere around those lines, depending on the month. So turnover is definitely higher as compared to other industries, but lower than other markets. Like in India, it's over 30% or turnover. So we are better than them, but not much better. We should be. Retaining the talent is, again, it's in a Gen Z world. It's a very challenging ask, and we are doing through our engagement, through our benefits, through the opportunities that we give people to go abroad, as we are a global company, through employee ownership. And there is no easy answer to it, but it's a constant work, day in and day out, that we work from top to bottom and make sure that we retain the best and good people. Of course, there will be some people that will leave and will be disconnected or whatever reason, but we have to do, we are doing, and everybody should do it, because there is no replacement of the good talent, because you lose a lot when person goes, the good people go from you.
Just a follow-up question. How many employees are you planning to add in 2023? I mean, since budget preparations and everything is going on. So any guidance on that? Obviously, you can, if you can.
That means I can share my future forecast, right?
actually, couple of questions are on the revenue growth. What sort of revenue growth you are looking at for 2023, and which vertical will drive that growth? If you can shed some light on that.
Yeah, I think definitely the banking vertical will lead. For sure, because of NDC acquisition, and with our offerings have been shaped up now in a very defined manner, and we have the customers to cross-sell and upsell. So that sector or that vertical will lead. And the telco, we have now enough references that will follow. Then we have a public sector, and then we have retail, CPG, and so on and so forth. But these two sectors will definitely shape up our future for the next year at least, and then we will add up more, because as I said, we are one of those where we look for opportunities, because we need to do whatever we can to maintain the momentum and have a sustainable growth model, not just a one-off growth model.
Few words on Retailistan, on Jugnu, on Jomo.
Yeah, I think definitely the B2B space, the Jugnu space and the Salesflow space is really doing well. Not everyone. All the B2B companies are not doing well, but we are lucky that we have got a very good team, very good founders. They are working diligently. They understand the unit economics, because in a startup, a lot of people are misled by the GMVs and not focused on unit economics. So we are seeing a great trajectory and great results and great numbers going forward as well. So I think this was one of the great investment that we have made. E-commerce space is also picking up, but not picked up as it was. We have seen it in COVID. Post-COVID, it has been tapered off a little bit. But whoever will remain in the play will reap the benefit as the country transition to more digital payments and so on and so forth. E-commerce will come in next 2-3 years in a very heavy way.
So there are a couple of questions regarding Systems Limited versus the Indian companies, TCS and Infosys. How do we compare, and what kind of competition do we see in Middle East? And who is our primary competition in Middle East?
Can we really compare? We can't, as I said, we can't really compare, but what I can say, we are competing in Middle East with all of these big names that you have said, and we are winning as well. So I'm proud of my team. We have beaten in few contracts and the large customers, all of them you named, right? So that is a great testimony of our strength. And why is that? I can tell you the reason as well. Because a lot of Indian companies that you named have been very focused on North America and Europe. They have their top star players focusing on that, and they leave this market with the B and C players, right? So we have a great opportunity to outshine them, outperform with our great people and the great leadership. So I think that's making a difference. And with our focus on those white spaces that they leave, there is an opportunity for everyone. Actually, the world is very competitive. It's not like the big player can eat everything. They leave. They don't focus on $1 million accounts. For us, the $1 million a year is a good number, right? For them, $1 million is like a lot of overhead and cost. They can't afford even to have the $1 million customers in their books. But for us, it's a good number because we are a smaller company, right? So as a global standard, nothing to be proud of. We are very small, right? So we have a lot to do and long way to go before we can even not comparison, but at least we can talk about it,
So there's a question that, what is the company's vision? So would you like to quote anything that, by 2025, 26, what kind of a revenue stream that you're looking for? Anything you have in your mind?
Yeah, to be honest, we don't want to share the forward-looking statements, right? But of course, our aspirations and inspirations are bigger because, as I said, we are a very small company as compared to an international scale, and we have a huge opportunity in front of us to scale. And we have the playbook, and we have the models in front of us, right? So we are excited, and my team and the leadership is very focused, and I'm proud of them. And the great team makes the great stories, right? So
Great. I think we have asked most of the relevant questions. Tahir, do you see anything?
Yeah, I think we have covered most of the questions, and if someone feels that we haven't answered the question, please feel free to reach out us on the email. Asif Saab, any closing remarks from your side?
No, I think I would like to thank all the shareholders, all the participants who have listened to us, who have been following us and sharing as we share more positive things about the sector, more positive things about the company. That is going to shape up our ecosystem, and that is going to shape up our future of the country. And I'm really thankful to all of you, and really looking forward to have another analyst briefing at the annual closing of Systems Year. And thank you again. Thank you, Foundation, for moderating that. And thank you, Tahir, Rui, and all the participants who have joined and listened us patiently. I hope we answered most of the questions, but if we have not, please feel free to ask offline as well, and we would love to answer those as well. Thank you.
Thank
you so much, Asif. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.